thank you for coming back to my channel, Miss Cook It All. My name is Brittany, and today I'm going to show you how to make my homemade surf and turf. And it's going to be with mashed potatoes, and we're going to do some sauteed spinach. So first we're going to start with the steak. I do have 3 steaks here. They are about 10 to 12 ounces. And I already have my half a stick of butter into my cast iron skillet because that is what we're going to use. And I'm also just going to go ahead and put in my rosemary, and I have 2 cloves of garlic. So first we're going to go ahead and just put these off into the skillet. And while that's in the skillet, we're going to go ahead and season the 3 steaks. It's very simple seasoning. All you need is a little sea salt. And we're going to do this on both sides. We're going to use seasoned pepper. Okay, and we're going to use some garlic powder. Now, I like my steak medium rare, so we're going to do about 7 to 10 minutes on both sides of the steak. So I'm going to put the seasoned side down first in the cast iron skillet, and then I'm just going to season the other side while this first side is cooking. My garlic cloves are starting to brown already, so now I'm just going to put my steaks into the skillet, and let's try to see if all 3 can fit. If not, we can just do the first 2. Alright, so we got all 3. We're going to season this side with the same seasoning. So we're going to do some sea salt, seasoned pepper, and we're going to do the garlic powder. So again, let's allow these to cook. You don't have to flip them over or anything. Just let them cook for about 7 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to flip them over to the other side and do the same thing, okay? Alright, so next we're gonna go ahead and start on our red potatoes. So I have about a 3-pound bag of red potatoes here. So we're just going to half these red potatoes maybe 1 or 2 times because I am going to mash them anyway. So we're just going to cut these maybe once or twice just to give it, you know, like the big square chunks. So I'll show you. So we can have this way, have it this way. So pretty much that's it. So we're gonna do these, I would say maybe about 10 potatoes. Alright, so we're going to give the red potatoes a rinse real quick, and then we're going to put them into our pot. After we have cut our potatoes, we've rinsed them out. I put them into the pot, and I'm going to add water. We're just going to add enough just to cover them, and then we're going to put the top on them, put them to about medium-high heat, and let them cook until they boil all the way. And the way that I like to know that my potatoes are done is when I stick a fork in them and the fork doesn't, the potato doesn't stick to the fork. I know that's when my potatoes are done. So let's go ahead and put these on the stove. Alright, so now it is time to check my steak and flip them over. It's been about 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and flip these guys over. Okay, so now we have our lobster tails to do. I did go to the market and I got 3 lobster tails. I have already cleaned these, so of course on a clean cutting board. I'll show you how I just have my lobster tails on each side, and then we're just going to put those on the skillet as well and let them cook. So first, I'm going to take my shear scissors and I'm just going to cut at the very top all the way down to where the tail is. And I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the same thing in the middle. Take my scissors in the very middle of where the flesh is and just going to cut all the way down. That way it's a little easier for when I need to, when it's time for me to cut it. So. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my knife and I'm going to cut this with the meat all the way down to half it. Just like that. So it comes out like that. This is how it should look. You wanna, I know sometimes some of like the little thin parts come off, or the little legs or whatever it's called. So you can just put those to the side. And pretty much this is how it should look. So I do have my skillet. I have like a little grill skillet. Let me go ahead and show you guys. As you can see, the skillet does have those grill marks, well, the grill lines in order to make grill marks on the lobster. So first I'm just going to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter. And this will be flesh side down, guys. So we can just put all 6 of these onto the skillet. Alright, and this is the final product of the steak. I do not recommend that you cut it as soon as it does come off the stove because it is hot. It's good to let your steak rest for about 10 minutes before you decide to slice it or anything, just to kind of let those juices soak into the meat, so you won't lose the flavor, and of course it'll become dry if you cut it too soon. So we're just going to set these on the side for about 10 to 12 minutes and then just of course prepare everything else. Where our potatoes are done, they are ready to be drained, and then I'm just going to show you guys how I do my mashed potatoes. It's just basic with whole milk, or you can use heavy whipping cream, and we're just going to season it. So let's first drain the water out, and now we're just going to start the process of mashing. Alright, so once these are mashed, you're going to add your milk. And I would say about a whole cup of milk. Again, this is just going to be based on how many potatoes you have. So I would say about a whole 1 cup of milk. And I just like to mash mine just a little bit more. Now I could take my spoon and I can mix them, just so all of the milk can go into the potatoes to make them creamy. We're going to put these on the stove for about another 5 minutes. I did add butter. I've added about a half a cup of milk and a little salt and pepper and just like an all-purpose seasoning. Of course, to make them a little bit more creamier, if you want to, again, this is optional. I would add about 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream, and that's just to make the mashed potatoes a little bit creamier. So I'll just give this a little stir, and then as you can see, they're getting a little bit creamier than what they were with the milk. And then of course you can taste to be sure that, you know, if you don't need to add any more salt, pepper, you're more than welcome to do that of course as well while it is still cooking. So now I just have it set low just to have my butter to melt, and of course for that whipping cream and that milk to kind of incorporate into the mashed potatoes. Alright, so these are pretty much done. I'm just gonna put the top on these, and now we can start plating. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and plate our food. So first we're going to add the mashed potatoes, and I just kind of like to make mine presentable. So I like to add my mashed potatoes first in the middle, just enough. It doesn't have to be so full. And the steak that we made earlier, of course, I've already cut it up. So we're just gonna add that steak on top of the mashed potatoes. However many you want, it's up to you. Just kind of mash it down just a little bit. I'm just gonna put this on the end. Alright, and so now we're going to add 2 of our lobster tails. So we can put our lobster tails here, and we can put the other one here. And with the lobster tails, I did make like a quick little sauce to go over them. It's just butter, parsley, a little lemon pepper, and garlic seasoning. And I just pop it into the microwave for about 30 seconds. So we're gonna drizzle this over the lobster tails. We can add our sauteed spinach that we did. So with the sauteed spinach, I just added some onion and mushrooms. I put a little bit of grapeseed oil, maybe about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of grapeseed oil, and I just sauteed it. So we're just gonna put these right here on the side. Alright, and that is it. And this is my surf and turf. If you want to garnish it a little bit, you can. Just to add something at the top, maybe like some parsley or thyme if you have it. You can add that at the top as well. And this is my version of my surf and turf with my steak, lobster, mashed potatoes, and sauteed spinach. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel tonight. I hope this recipe is fulfilling. If you like my recipes, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel, like, and share. Thank you guys. See you next time. Hello everyone, my name is Brittany. Thank you for coming to my channel today, Miss Cook It All. And today I am going to do my homemade surf and turf. First I have my 3 New York